Hello, everyone. This is Jimmy Kimmel. Where was Donald Trump between December 8th and December 11th? Nobody knows. Not the Secret Service, not the White House press office, not even his own family. For 72 hours, the President of the United States disappeared. No public appearances, no phone calls, no GPS signal, and when he finally reappeared, he wouldn't tell anyone where he'd been. Before we get into this, I need you to hit that subscribe button for Future in View. Do it right now, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the strangest, most concerning stories I've ever covered. The president disappeared for 3 days, and nobody's talking about it. The mainstream media mentioned it briefly, then moved on. The White House is stonewalling, and the American people deserve answers. So subscribe. Stay with me, because we're going to dig into exactly what happened during those 72 hours. All right, let's start with the timeline. December 8th, 6:15 p.m. Trump is at Mar-a-Lago. He's been there for the weekend. No public events scheduled. Nothing unusual. A Secret Service agent sees Trump walk into his private quarters. The agent files a routine report. POTUS secured for the evening. That's standard procedure. Every night, the Secret Service confirms the president's location and status. December 9th, 7 a.m. The morning shift arrives to begin the president's daily security detail. They go to wake Trump for his morning briefing, but Trump's not there. The bed hasn't been slept in. His phone is on the nightstand powered off. His wallet is on the dresser. His shoes are in the closet, but Trump is gone. Now, at first, the Secret Service thinks maybe he went for an early walk on the property. Trump sometimes does that. He likes to tour the grounds, talk to staff, check on things. So they check the security cameras, nothing, no footage of Trump leaving his quarters. They check the property, the golf course, the dining room, the pool area, the beach. Trump is nowhere to be found. By 8 a.m., the Secret Service realizes they have a problem. They've lost the president. At 8:23 a.m., according to my sources, the Secret Service activates what's called a POTUS missing protocol. This is not something that happens often. In fact, according to one former Secret Service agent I spoke with, this protocol has never been fully activated in modern history. The protocol involves several steps. First, they secure all entry and exit points at Mar-a-Lago. Nobody gets in or out until they find Trump. Second, they conduct a comprehensive sweep of the entire property, every room, every closet, every storage area. Third, they contact the White House Situation Room and inform them that they've lost contact with the president. Fourth, they begin checking Trump's known associates, family members, and frequent locations. By 10 a.m. on December 9th, they still haven't found him. Now, here's where it gets really concerning. The Secret Service tries to track Trump's phone, but his phone is right there in his room, powered off. They try to track his Secret Service-issued GPS device. All senior officials, including the president, carry a small GPS tracker for emergencies. It's about the size of a credit card. But Trump's tracker isn't responding. Either it's been disabled or it's somewhere that blocks the signal. They try to access any recent communications. Emails, text messages, phone logs, nothing. Trump's last communication was a phone call at 5:47 p.m. on December 8th. After that, silence. By December 9th at noon, the Secret Service is in full panic mode. They've searched Mar-a-Lago 3 times. They've interviewed every staff member who was on duty. They've reviewed every second of security footage, and they can't explain how Trump left the property without being seen. According to one source, a senior agent said, "It's like he just vanished into thin air." Now the Secret Service has to make a decision. Do they go public with this? Do they inform Congress? Do they activate the full emergency response protocols? They decide to keep it quiet for now. Why? Because they're terrified of what this means. If the president has been kidnapped, going public could endanger his life. If the president has run away or is hiding, going public would be a massive embarrassment. If the president is dead, they need to confirm that before causing a constitutional crisis. So they keep searching quietly. December 9th turns into December 10th. Still no Trump. The White House press office starts getting questions. Where's the president? Why aren't there any public events scheduled? The official line: the president is working from Mar-a-Lago. He's in meetings, very busy. But there are no meetings, there are no phone calls, there's no work being done because Trump isn't there. Now, let me tell you what the Secret Service does next. They start expanding their search beyond Mar-a-Lago. They check Trump's other properties, Trump Tower in New York, His golf course in Bedminster, his hotel in D.C., nothing. They check with his family. Melania says she hasn't heard from him. Don Jr. says the same. Ivanka says she spoke with him on December 8th, but not since. They check with his closest associates. Nobody's heard from him. By December 10th at midnight, Trump has been missing for 42 hours, and the Secret Service has no leads. Now, here's what's really disturbing about this. According to federal law, the Secret Service is required to protect the president at all times. But how can they protect someone they can't find? According to one constitutional expert I spoke with, this situation raises serious questions about the chain of command. If the president is unreachable for an extended period, who's in charge? The vice president? The cabinet? The 25th Amendment has provisions for this. If the president is unable to discharge his duties, the vice president can assume power. But Trump would have to be officially declared unable. And for that to happen, the cabinet would need to vote. And they can't vote if they don't know where the president is or what his condition is. So for 72 hours, America was in a constitutional gray zone. We had a president who was legally still president, but he was missing, unreachable, not performing any duties. December 11th, day 3. At 2:35 p.m., Trump reappears. He walks into the main dining room at Mar-a-Lago. He's wearing the same clothes he was wearing on December 8th. He looks tired, a little disheveled. Secret Service agents immediately surround him. Mr. President, where have you been? Trump's response, according to my source, I was working. Very productive. That's it. That's all he says. The agents press him. Sir, we need to know where you were for security purposes. Trump gets annoyed. I'm the president. I don't need to explain myself to you. And he walks away. Now, the Secret Service has to file a report. They have to document what happened. But what do they write? The president disappeared for 72 hours and won't tell us where he went? According to my sources, there was a heated debate within the Secret Service leadership about how to handle this. Some agents wanted to go public. They wanted to report this to Congress. They wanted an investigation. Other agents argued that going public would be a disaster. It would undermine confidence in the Secret Service. It would raise questions about Trump's mental state. It would create a media firestorm. In the end, they decided to keep it quiet. They filed an internal report. They documented the timeline. They noted Trump's refusal to explain his whereabouts, and then they buried it. But here's the problem. People talk. Within days, rumors started circulating among White House staff. Did you hear the president went missing? Some staffers thought it was a joke. Others were genuinely concerned. One staffer contacted a reporter. The reporter started asking questions. The White House press office shut it down immediately. The president was at Mar-a-Lago the entire time. He was working. This is a non-story. But it's not a non-story. The president of the United States disappeared for 3 days, and when he came back, he wouldn't say where he'd been. Now let me tell you what theories are circulating. Theory 1, medical emergency. Some people think Trump had a medical incident, maybe a stroke, maybe a heart attack, maybe something else. He was taken to a hospital, treated, and brought back. And the White House is covering it up because they don't want the public to know the president's health is failing. This theory makes some sense. It would explain why the GPS went dark. It would explain why Trump won't talk about it. But here's the problem. There's no record of Trump being admitted to any hospital. We checked every hospital in Florida. Nothing. Theory 2, secret meeting. Some people think Trump went to meet with someone he didn't want anyone to know about. Maybe a foreign leader, maybe a business partner, maybe someone connected to something illegal. He left Mar-a-Lago through a secret exit. He traveled off the grid, he had his meeting, and then he came back. This theory also makes some sense. Trump has a history of secret meetings. Remember when he met with Putin privately and wouldn't let anyone else in the room? But here's the problem. The Secret Service searched Mar-a-Lago. They reviewed all the security footage. They couldn't find any evidence of Trump leaving the property. Theory 3, mental breakdown. Theory. This is the theory that nobody wants to talk about, but multiple sources have mentioned it. Some people think Trump had a psychological episode. He became disoriented. He wandered off. He hid somewhere on the property or nearby. And when he finally came back to himself, he was embarrassed and refused to talk about it. This theory would explain the refusal to discuss it. It would explain why there's no clear answer, but it's also terrifying. Because if the president can just disappear during a mental health crisis, what does that say about his fitness for office? Theory 4, deliberate test. This is the conspiracy theory, but it's worth mentioning. Some people think Trump deliberately disappeared to test the system, to see how the Secret Service would react, to see if he could evade surveillance. Maybe he's planning something bigger. Maybe he wanted to know if he could disappear if he needed to. This theory is the most disturbing because it suggests premeditation. It suggests Trump is planning for a scenario where he might need to go off the grid. Now, here's what we know for certain. Trump was last seen on December 8th at 6:15 p.m. He reappeared on December 11th at 2:35 p.m. That's 68 hours and 20 minutes. During that time, there is no record of his location, no phone calls, no digital footprint, nothing. The Secret Service conducted a full investigation and found no evidence of how he left Mar-a-Lago or where he went. Trump has refused to provide any explanation, and the White House is treating this as a non-issue. But it's not a non-issue. This is the President of the United States. He has access to nuclear codes. He commands the military. He makes decisions that affect millions of lives, and for 3 days, nobody knew where he was. What if there had been a national emergency during those 72 hours? What if another country had attacked us? What if a terrorist attack had happened? Who would have made the decisions? Who would have responded? We don't know, because Trump was gone. Let me tell you what a former Secret Service agent told me about this situation. They said, "In my 20 years with the service, I've never seen anything like this. Presidents don't just disappear. Even when they want privacy, we know where they are. We have protocols." The fact that Trump vanished for 3 days and won't explain it is unprecedented, and it's deeply concerning. Either he deliberately evaded his security detail, which suggests he's planning something, or he had a medical or psychological episode which suggests he's unfit for office. Either way, the American people deserve answers. Now, let me tell you what's happened since Trump reappeared. The White House has gone into full damage control mode. They've threatened staff who might talk to reporters. They've classified all documents related to the incident. They've told the Secret Service to stop asking questions, and they've launched a counter-narrative. The president was working. He was in meetings. This is fake news from the liberal media trying to undermine him. But there are no meeting records, no visitor logs, no documentation of any work being done. It's a cover-up, plain and simple. And here's what really bothers me. If this had happened to any other president, there would be congressional hearings, there would be investigations, there would be demands for answers. But because it's Trump, his supporters are defending him. He deserves privacy. He doesn't need to tell us where he was. This is just another witch hunt. But this isn't about privacy. This is about national security. The president doesn't get to disappear for 3 days without telling anyone where he's going. That's not how this works. Let me tell you what's at stake here. If Trump can disappear for 3 days and face no consequences, what's to stop him from doing it again? What if next time it's not 3 days? What if it's a week, a month? What if next time there's a real crisis and we can't find the president? This sets a dangerous precedent. All right, my friend, that's the story of Trump's 72 missing hours. That's what happened between December 8th and December 11th. And we still don't have answers. So what are you going to do? Are you going to demand that Congress investigate? Are you going to contact your representatives? Are you going to share this story and make sure people know what happened? Or are you going to let the White House bury this? Because I'll tell you right now, they're hoping you'll forget about it. They're hoping the media will move on. They're hoping this becomes just another weird Trump story that fades away. Don't let that happen. Thanks for being here with me. Thanks for caring about accountability. Thanks for understanding that the president doesn't get to disappear without consequences. I'll be back soon with more from Future in View. Keep watching, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, when powerful people refuse to answer questions, that's when you need to ask them louder. Take care of yourself and your family. Be well, my friend.